Worldcon has once again embarrassed itself with another disaster of an event as this convention continues to circle the drain. This is the World Science Fiction Convention, if you don't know, and it used to be something that was a prestigious thing that everybody in sci-fi would pay attention to, and now it's relegated to these kind of like, boomers and mobility scooters who are, I guess, go for the sake of going because they've gone every year forever. And these activists with blue hair and, the whole, the nose ring, you know exactly what I'm talking about, as they have pretty much alienated everybody normal. Now, this year's event has had a lot of problems and even more worse things happening at the convention itself. We'll get into all of it and the history of this in just a moment, so please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us as we talk about all things science fiction. Guys, I have a great alternative in science fiction for you. That's me. This is Justified Saga the Nano Templar, my military science fiction conquest tale. This is base stuff, and this is the type of stuff they're afraid of you reading. It's a lot of fun. There's this heavy action, amazing sci-fi, everything really Star Wars should have been. We did it right here. So check this out, and I appreciate you guys for being here. Read this today. It is in the description below, and it is available on ebook, print, and audio. It's got a full trilogy for you. And I do have a newsletter as well, and if you want to check out and stay in touch for my new releases, we are building a great community of science fiction readers, and I appreciate all of you guys for making us a tremendous success this year. Grab this. Thanks for being here, and let's get into the news. So Seattle Worldcon is almost over. It is Sunday. This is the group for the next Worldcon, the Montreal Worldcon. I guess next year is going to be LA, but they weren't sure they were even going to have a 2027 Worldcon, and it looks like it's going to Montreal. You could see just these sad faces. There's somebody with a mask and purple hair in the back. I don't know. They don't look like thrilled about having and hosting a convention right here, but this is the absolute state at this point. Now, I had an insider, an on-site contact that actually reported for me, said Worldcon is poorly planned and has to me what feels like low attendance. When I sat at tables to eat, I have overheard some of the most insane anti-Trump conversations going on, like the meeting with Putin was to get new orders from the Russian oligarch. They're absolutely absurd here. You see, this is the line for the Hugo Awards. Lots of masks and gray hair here. Not very much going on. You can see that with the line here, there's not much going on outside of it either. It's not a very busy convention. It felt like it was really dead. And so this is a participant who was in the Worldcon Facebook group. They banned me after I posted my reporting here, of course. This is my third Worldcon. I have to say this is the most disappointing of all. The merchandise area is very small. The food in the hotel, from my experience, was terrible for being so expensive. The choices of food in the area left a lot to be desired, and the elevator system was a little crazy. There were a few things that were good, etc., but you could tell it's just not what it used to be. They really didn't do much. Now, a lot of their programming was centered on identity politics. They have a whole DEI track on their website, so you can just monitor all those DEI things. We covered on the channel the other day, showing exactly how much neurodiversity programming was going on. I don't need to belabor the point and go there again. This is their anti-AI panel of authors, as you can tell. Is it any different than their diversity panels? Not really. It's going to be the same thing that you would get at their diversity panel. So their anti-AI crying is because they're all diversity hires who are propped up in different short story magazines and the like. All these people barely make a few $100s a year off their writing. And they're mad because AI can do it better than them. I actually have an AI pen name. And I'm proud to say that my AI is SIFWA qualifying at this point. My AI, without really even putting too much work into it, I've made a little over $1,300 so far with my AI writing on top of my regular writing. And that's got to have these people seething, right? Very, very funny stuff. And that's exactly what's going on at Worldcon. But we also covered there was a drag queen story hour. You can see that people brought their children to stand in front of this dude with tattoos. Very creepy stuff and borderline abusive. Somebody, this is a situation for potential authorities to check out because it's kind of creepy. And they said it's all ages. Of course, it's all ages. But yes, had some costume malfunctions. This one right here. The lady inside of this this weird bird box thing apparently fell off the stage at the convention as well in a humorous moment. She's okay, so we can make fun of it. And it's just a debacle after a debacle. Now, this entire year has been hallmarked with Worldcon screwing up. They actually encouraged people not to travel internationally, saying that Donald Trump was bad and he's going to hurt everybody out there. And then on top of that, they used AI to help vet their programming participants. Now, their programming participants are all these same people up above, the anti-AI people. And so, as you can see, and they're all aspiring authors doing their thing. So, I mean, it's just a pointless kind of vetting anyway, because, it's just, the same clout-chasing people in the industry who actually don't make money on anything on all the panels. But they got in a lot of trouble for that, and a lot of people tried to even cancel Worldcon for that. And that might be why it's feeling so empty, according to my sources who are there. Now, let's get into the Hugo Awards, because this is where it gets really fun. The Hugo Awards were last night. This used to be science fiction's like Oscars. It was where you got everything and like won amazing things. And this is where Heinlein and Isaac Asimov and Arthur C. Clarke would win. Not anymore, my friends. This year's best novel is not even a science fiction novel. It's a fantasy novel. And so now they are, and even though there's a World Fantasy Convention with its own awards for fantasy, the World Science Fiction Convention now awards fantasy novels Hugo Awards. Now, this is called the Tainted Cup, and it's like, it's a Sherlock Holmes story. So it's a Sherlock Holmes mystery in a fantasy world, okay? But there's a twist, my friends, and this is the twist that is why it won the Hugo Award. The Sherlock Holmes character is a strong female lead. Yes, please clap, everybody. Finally, a strong female lead Sherlock. And she's also bi or pansexual. Very important in today's modern environment to do that. But there's more on the Hugo Award nomination list. There's Best Fanzine, which is won by Black Nerd Problems. And as you can see, they're cool. They're hip. They're with it. They're black. And I'm guessing they won because they are black. It looks like people just wanted to clap for this. I've not really read their website. Neither does anybody else. They get less than 20,000 views per month on here. Superman review, Captain Zero, The Abyss, and Black Super Fantastic Four review. Looks like they don't have a ton going on here, so I don't understand. Yes, obviously the real best fanzine would be Fandom Pulse, who is the most read blog in science fiction and fantasy, fandompulse.com. But more than that, guys, as the blackness wins for best fanzine, the best related work goes to Speculative Whiteness, Science Fiction, and the Alt-Right. Oh, no, the Alt-Right, everybody. So this guy wrote this whole 120-page treatise on Amazon that nobody read. It's got 24 reviews on it. And it's just about literal Nazis. And I'm dead serious. I read the first couple of pages, and it starts talking about neo-Nazis and Hitler, and I'm like, what does this have to do with science fiction? I didn't read on because I didn't want to, beat my head against a wall too much, but this is so ridiculous, the amount of virtue signaling that's going on with these Hugo Awards right here. It's out of control, like it always is. Now, these are the things that are winning. Like I said, lesbian Sherlock Holmes, Black Nerd Problems, Speculative Whiteness. On top of this, Heather Antos and her company won the Hugo Award for Best Comic for a Star Trek Lower Decks comic. Yes. And so this just goes to tell you, if you don't know, these all got nominated, and a lot of these categories had 18, 20, 30 people nominating these works. So there was really not that many people nominating these whatsoever. There's nobody who cared about this or read this, let's be honest. And then once that was nominated, all the people go on and they check Speculative Whiteness because they want a virtue signal, because that's what they are. And so Star Trek Lower Decks is one of those causes that they're like, oh, I know what Star Trek Lower Decks is, when they look at the comics. And so, of course, it gets up there. And they have these behind-the-scenes thing. Heather Antos lobbies for awards. And remember, they used to say lobbying for awards was bad. They used to cancel a group called the Sad Puppies who, brought in some actual fandom stuff, like Jim Butcher was up for an award and Kevin J. Anderson, people who actually get read. And the Hugo Award purveyors got really, really pissed about that, saying you're not allowed to do that. Heather Antos does this all the time. And the thing is, if you got a company like IDW Publishing, everybody at the company, all 50 people or whatever, get a membership. They can vote themselves an award, and that's exactly what a lot of these are at this point, and that's exactly what happened in that situation. Definitely not the best comic of the year by any stretch of the imagination going on right there. So that's our Hugo Award winners right here. Small attendance. Nobody's really paying attention to this stuff. And these are all things that, again, are just completely irrelevant in culture. And as they push further and further in this direction, doing the exact same thing every single year with this stuff, we can expect Worldcon to become even more relevant next year. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to support the alternative in science fiction. While, of course, the Hugo Awards don't even nominate a science fiction novel for their award for science fiction, we have some beautiful science fiction novels here. I write real science fiction. You're going to love this. It's in the description below. Grab it. Grab the whole trilogy today, ebook, print, and audio, and sign up for my newsletter so you don't miss my new series that's going to be coming out very, very soon. Appreciate you guys being here.